Wow. Hey, everybody. Here we are. Oh my God. Another day. Wow. So let me just get myself situated right here. I got my coffee. I got everything. Uh, Today we are going to talk about the difference between feelings and facts after I have my coffee. So I really do think we have lost it. We're really in such a weird space right now, and I just don't understand why we can't have conversations. It's so annoying to me to be put in a position that every time I want to have a conversation, it gets heated or people delete it. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm checking out all the new ways of being. And I'm this guy who has to change my environment a lot. I get very bored, if that makes sense. So because I get bored, I just need to change things around. So I'm going to keep doing different backgrounds, and if you give me your feedback, I totally appreciate that a lot. It means a lot to me. So let's wait for all the gang to show up here, and let's just drink some coffee and wake up. Hey, thanks for showing up. So yeah, I'm gonna be changing my backgrounds around. So if you all just give me a little feedback, that would be super awesome. I appreciate it. Just trying to make things as I grow the channel, changing things around and trying to make things look a little bit more I don't know. I think comfortable, if that makes sense. I want to feel like this is a comfortable conversation. That's what my lives are really sort of about, having a conversation with you all. And so how I started this out before you all showed up here. Hey, thanks for showing up, friends. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm speaking here for the kids. I mean, really, that's one of the reasons why I stay around. But that being said, you know, I just want to kind of start this off with, hey, thanks for showing up, friend. I want to start this off with the reason why I came up with oh, thanks, friend. The reason why I came up with this title for today's live, which is feelings or facts. And something weird happened to me the other day. Thanks, Abby. Something happened weird to me, and I'm pretty sure this has happened to all of you out there. So I post things and I welcome comments, and whether they're good comments or bad comments or your opinion or whatever. As you know, I do welcome that. What I don't welcome is I don't welcome hate towards me. I don't welcome nasty gross stuff towards me. I won't tolerate that. That's not a conversation for me. But if you come to me and you say, "You know what, Buck, blah blah blah," and I know blah blah blah, and the facts say blah blah blah, we're totally good, my friend, and we can sort of have this conversation together. But what happened to me the other day was oh, thanks, Anna. What happened to me the other day was this. I posted something about my biology. Again, I'm constantly talking about my effing biology. It feels like I've never had to speak about my biology more than ever, more than now. It's just so bizarre. So anyway, I was speaking about my biology, and I made a post. Hey, Solar, nice to see you. I made a post about hey, Chris, nice to see you too. So here, I made a post about biology and why biology is part of being trans, and that I don't understand why people in our community keep pushing against biology and acting as if they were born male or female, and that's not true, because why are you trans? And it's a real basic thing. You're trans because of biology, period. Nope, there's nothing else. Anyway, I had a kind of bigger named trans woman come on and make a comment on the page that said that she called her titties are biologically female. Now, this is a male to female transsexual person who happens to, I thought, be a friend of mine. So she says that, as far as she knows, her titties are biologically female. And I said to her, I said, but that's not true. Your titties are not biologically female, because you're putting estrogen into your biologically male body in order to create this female looking space. It's the same with me. I put testosterone in my body to get muscle mass and to get this. That's the only reason I look this way. You know that? The only reason I look like this is because of testosterone, which is not native to my biologically female body. Anyway, I said this, blah, 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 it's going, and the conversation, she's pushing back on me and I'm pushing back on her. Hence today's thing, feelings or facts. And I was stating facts. If you are a transsexual or transgender woman, you are a biological male. Facts. Those are facts. You cannot argue that with me. You can have a different opinion, but you cannot argue that with me. That's an actual real fact. The whole equation to being a transsexual person is your biology does not align with the way you want the world to see you. Why is this? It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's just so weird. So anyway, next thing I know, as it's progressing, this conversation, I'm like, look, what are you talking about? And then she went off on me about puberty blockers and how dare we tell anybody how to live their life. And I'm like, what? Who's telling anyone how to live their life? I'm trying to slow stuff down. I'm trying to say, look, kids cannot consent. And if anyone in this room right now actually thinks a child, and I'm talking about a child, I'm talking about 10, 11, 12, I'm talking about puberty blockers, okay? Now, if anyone in this room actually thinks a 10-year-old can consent to a drug called Lupron, a puberty blocker, that they know and they understand the long-term effects, that's what that is. That's consent. Consent is understanding what long-term effects are. That's consent. Okay. I understand the long-term effects of taking testosterone because I'm old enough to do my own research to understand what I put in my body reflects what happens, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to coffee, when it comes to alcohol, when it comes to cannabis, I completely can make that choice for myself because I'm an adult who's had enough experience in life. So does anybody in this room, okay, think that an actual 10-year-old can consent to taking something that has irreversible consequences? Now, don't you dare tell me that it's reversible, because we all know we have the facts versus feelings. We all know the facts on puberty blockers. So stop putting out lies. The facts are that those have long-term consequences. And I'm just going to give you one, okay? There are many, but I'm going to give you one. One of those long-term consequences is sterility. So we all know it. So is there anyone on here? Hold on one second. What? Hey, Jonah, can you not do that? Sorry, you guys. Hold on. Jonah, can you not play the piano right now? Thank you. So I have my son doing piano. So I have to tell him to chill out, unless y'all want to hear him play because he's pretty amazing. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say here is this. So I have this conversation with this trans woman who keeps pushing on me that her titties are biologically female. No, they're not. Your titties, and I do this because that's what she called them, are made because of estrogen in your biologically male body. Why is this? Why are we even having this conversation? Anyway, long story short, she deleted the whole conversation. She deleted the whole conversation. Now I'm kind of upset about that. So I want to get your opinion. I want to get all of your opinion here on the fact that I took the time to comment back to a trans woman telling me that she is a biologically female because she now has estrogen in her body, which is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Like, are people losing their understanding of reality? Are people actually losing the understanding of what it means to be a trans person? Even actual trans people who've transitioned many years ago. So here's my question to you. It's upsetting to me that the whole conversation was deleted. And my feeling is that the whole conversation was deleted because they either were embarrassed about what they said, or they just didn't want to deal with other people coming on and saying things to them that they know are true, or they just didn't want to have the conversation anymore. So is it okay for me to be upset about that? I mean, I'm not actually asking permission. I'm just asking how you would feel. How would you feel if all of a sudden you literally, yeah, Andy, by deleting the whole conversation, she's preventing others from reading it and learning. That's what I said in my brain, Andy. That's exactly what I said in my brain. I go, she deleted this because she doesn't want anyone else to see it. But why? Why wouldn't she want anyone else to see it? That also says to me that what she's saying she knows is not true, right? So that's what I think. Like, she deleted it. Here's what's so fascinating. And I put the effort. I put the effort to actually have that conversation. It takes time and energy to go on stupid Instagram and have this sort of emotional conversation with this person. And I was giving myself to that conversation. It's so bizarre. So anyway, I want you all to know this. Sometimes I have these instincts. Sometimes I have these instincts. And my instinct said, the minute she posted on my page of this comment, my instinct said, ooh, this is going to kind of go off the rails. And I bet you she's going to delete it. It was so weird. I actually thought that. So you know what I did? I screen grabbed the first part of it. So I have the actual initial conversation. Something made me go and screen cap it, and I did. And then literally woke up in the morning and it was gone. She deleted it. So it's kind of fascinating to me how this community is so divided on this idea of feelings and facts. And the minute factual information starts to kind of seep in, right? And they have to sort of acknowledge that, right? I don't delete anything. Thank you, Seth. I do not delete. Who did somebody say that? Never. I never delete. Nope, I do not. I have stuff from back in the day I'm embarrassed that I said. I have not deleted it and I will not delete it. The reason why I don't delete it is because I want you to see how I've grown. I want you to see maybe 5 years ago, I was all pro transitioning children. I admit it all the time. I was 100% okay with transitioning young kids because what I was hearing from the community was it's safe, it's reversible, it's all of the things that you all are hearing. I heard it too. But there was something again inside of me that said, no, wait a minute here, man. And also people were throwing stuff at me saying, Buck, do your research, man. Don't say this until you understand both sides. And I said, oh, wow, you're right, dude. I can't just say things because one person or one side is telling me. I got to go look at the other side of that. And I did. And I did. And holy moly, what I observed from the other side and the facts that were being sent to me is when I changed my mind about transitioning children. I totally changed my mind. So this is the reason why I don't delete any of my tweets that might be embarrassing from 5 or so years ago, or my Instagram, or I might have said something that I have a different way of being today. I think that's very, very important for people to see growth, especially from people like myself, who does come from an older generation, different way of thinking, different way of being, how I got here, all of it. It's completely different than this new trans space. So it's important, I think, for people to see I'm able to change my mind. 100%. I change my mind if I feel that it is factually presented to me. Why wouldn't I change my mind? Why wouldn't I want to grow? Why don't you want to grow? Why don't you want to hear the other side? Why are you afraid to say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should look into why Buck says puberty blockers are not reversible or puberty blockers are not consensual? Puberty blockers are not consensual, people. A 10-year-old cannot consent to putting something in their body that will change their body forever. This idea that you can reverse something that is supposed to puberty is for everyone. It's not just for one kind of person. Every human being on the face of the earth goes through puberty. There's a need for puberty. Also, I want to remind you that a trans kid is going through normal puberty. There's no such thing except for somebody who's been diagnosed with precocious puberty. Anyone else who has not been diagnosed with precocious is going through normal puberty. You have to go through normal puberty in order to be a healthy human being. So if you're going to block something that creates you to a healthy human, how are you going to transition healthy? How? If all of a sudden your body is full of a medication that is not actually helping you grow, but is stunting. Do you know that's what puberty blockers do? Does anybody in here understand what a puberty blocker is for and why we're giving children puberty blockers? Do you all know why? The reasoning behind this idea that if we don't give puberty blockers to kids, all of a sudden they're just gonna like kill themselves and die and no one's gonna be able to move forward. You know why they're doing that? They're only giving puberty blockers for one reason and one reason only. That's to make physical characteristics stunted. So, for example, a little girl that wants to be a little boy, right? It will stunt her feminization. The reason they give puberty blockers is to stunt masculinization or feminization so that when this child decides to go onto cross sex hormones, they don't have all the masculine. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? You really want to do that to a child? Who cares about the attributes? Look at me. I transitioned at 30. Do I look like a female to you? Do you see the female attributes I got through my puberty? There's no way you do. There's no way you see that. No way. No way. And I went through puberty and I did not transition until the age of 30. So so did Joe Rogan help you wake up to this? Oh, that's a great question. Thanks, Joshy. Did Joe Rogan help you wake up to this? Old interview. Yeah, that's right. I heard the old interview the other day. So, when I went on Joe Rogan, remember the female who was the MMA fighter? Do you all remember the MMA fighter? What's her name? Gosh, what was her name? I forgot. Dang it. Her name was, oh man, what is her name? Fallen Fox. Do you all know Fallen Fox? Fallen Fox was an MMA fighter who fought against biological women and knocked the crap out of them. It was just insane. So hold on, I think I'm having an issue with my internet. Let me just see something here. Let me see something. Am I having an issue with my internet? Yeah, so this is the other thing. Look at this. I remember being jealous of guys allowed and supported to transition as a teenager, knowing what I know now, no regrets. That's right. Everyone wants something. They want something right now. Everybody wants something so fast. It's an actual real thing. It's an actual real thing. Nobody wants to wait. Who wants to wait? I want to have it now. Also, we have. Okay, so anyway, so I had to check that out. I think I'm having technical difficulties. So I think I'm having technical difficulties. Hmm. Okay, it looks frozen over here. But anyway, so here. Now, the next thing, because I'm not getting any feed here. I have Spectrum. I hate Spectrum. They're the worst. Okay, so because I'm not seeing any comments here, so I think it totally froze in the comments. So what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Now I remember what it was. The facts versus feelings. I think what the problem for me is that I don't understand why we cannot have a conversation anymore. I just don't understand why we can't disagree. Why can't we disagree? Why is it so hard for us to have disagreement? Why is it so hard for us to say, I don't agree with you, Buck, but it's okay for you to have a different idea and a different feeling? Why? Why does it seem that every time I have a different opinion. I'm a grifter, or I'm a transphobe, or I'm a turf, or I don't know anything, or shut up, old man, or you're an idiot, or it just turns into that. And it's quite annoying. It's quite frustrating. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but what I see is that we are headed in a direction that is not going to help us, and it is not helping us. Why do you think they're making so many laws? Why do you think that they're making so many anti-trans laws that are now going to start affect adults? I'm all for shutting it down with kids, 100%, 100%. But when you come after the adults like myself, now I have an issue with that. Those people over there have to also find nuance in our transgender community. You can't just say all trans people should not transition. That's not true. Some of us actually should be transitioning. What we need to do is we need to reinstate a system that's safe and effective for people, not sloppy and messy and just shove people through this whole space so that they can transition in a hurry, because you all think for some reason that all of a sudden now people just know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. We're not in a good space to know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And so if we just continue to let that happen, look what's happening. You can, if you want to, see if you can reset the comments, but your quality. So you know what? I am going to refresh. Hold on. I don't know what this is going to do. It might knock me off, but I am going to refresh. So, because my buddy Seth is telling me that to do that. Hold on. I'm going to refresh. I don't know if this is going to. So I refreshed, and now let's see if that makes. See, that did work. Thanks, Seth. That actually worked. So I think so. Did that work? You know, technical difficulties. Does anybody here? Well, let's just talk about this person, Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, really? Come on, man. This is the kind of stuff that we're promoting in our community. I mean, that is so sad to me. That is so sad to me that we are promoting people like this person who clearly who clearly is making fun of us trans people. That's how I look at it. I think Dylan Mulvaney is making fun of us and making it look like it's just an easy thing to transition, that if you feel this way, you must be trans, that, making mockery out of women, which also really kind of upsets me a lot. It's not cool to do that at all. It's not. It's not cool. It's not cool what I think Dylan is doing. And that's just my opinion. And I'm allowed to have that opinion. So I'm not going to say whether or not Dylan is trans, because it's not up to me whether to make that choice. The fact or the problem that I have with Dylan is that I feel like Dylan promotes things to young people that shouldn't be accessible, and promotes this idea that anyone can be trans without even going through a system. You've got to go through a system. I'm begging you, go through a system. You will be much better off. You will have a much better transition. You'll understand what's happening. You will have so many more positive things in your life if you go through. Systems are there for a reason. Systems are there because they don't want you to fall. Systems are there because nobody wants to see you get into a space that you're not supposed to be in. And this idea that detransitioners only exist in a small amount, come on, people. You see them as much as I do. They're there, and they're coming more and more, and now lawsuits are happening. What do you think that's going to do to our community? And how do you think that's going to help our community? It's not going to help our community, and it's not helping our community. It's hurting us because we're not in any way, shape, or form having the conversation around people who've made the wrong choice. Why would we want anyone to make the wrong choice? It doesn't make sense to me at all. It's so bizarre and weird. And hold on. hold on, my friends. I'm still not getting any. I'm not getting any. This is so annoying. So, because I can't see your comments here, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just say what I need to say. And then I'm going to end this live. And we're going to do a 30-minute live today. But here's what I want to say to you all: speak up. You are allowed to speak up. You need to not have anybody tell you otherwise. You are allowed on this planet to speak your mind. It doesn't matter if it hurts people's feelings. You are not responsible for other people's feelings. You are responsible for yourself, period. Anybody else who tells you that needs to take responsibility for themselves. We have become such the most overly sensitive, insane community I have ever seen in my life. The fact that people in this community say words are violence and then turn around and tell other people to off themselves, that you'll never be part of this community, that you're a POS, that you're blah, 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 blah. And those are the same people that in the same sentence will turn around and say words are violence. That's what I want you to see. It is completely. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Seth is just telling me that. But that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Can you please do me a favor and stop worrying what other people think about you? Stop worrying about hurting other people's feelings and understand it's more important that we all stand up together and speak out against this insanity. The insanity of shutting our voices down, calling us names, telling us that we don't get to speak. I get to say whatever I want about the trans space. I'm an actual transsexual. You cannot tell me I cannot say anything, and you will not ever tell me to shut up. That is not where I stand. I can actually create my own YouTube channel, create conversation with people, whether you like it or not. And if I hurt your feelings, turn the channel. But take responsibility for your feelings. Your feelings are getting hurt for a reason. My feelings don't get hurt when you tell me to shut up. That lights a fire under my ass. Okay? Why do my feelings don't count? Why is it okay for you to hurt my feelings, but every time someone says something to you about transitioning, you fall apart? Whose responsibility is that? The hypocrisy in this community has got to stop. Everyone is entitled to a voice. Everyone is entitled to say things, whether or not you like it or not. So that's what I want to leave you with here today. Stop acting as if we don't get to have a voice. Because if you contribute to that, that's what they want to see. They want to see us not say anything because we're too fearful to be called transphobic or too fearful to be called a TERF. Or those are all names, people. They're just names. They don't mean anything. They mean nothing. It's all starting to crumble. And if you notice, I said this many times, you cannot build your house on a false foundation ever, because that false foundation will crash. And it's starting to show. This new trans umbrella is built on a false foundation. False facts, false, completely false. And now we're starting to see it. So in order for us to continue to break down this toxic system that has been put in place as a trans space, me and you need to start to speak up in order for it to get to crumble more and more. That's all I want to see. I want to see us get into a space where we are all able to have. I'll refresh once more. Hold on here. Not sure why it keeps doing that, but here we are, friends. Here we are, friends. So I hope that you heard me today. I hope that you understand why I continue to show up. Okay. I'm going to do another Twitter space very soon about biology. I hope that you see how important these live talks are for me and for you. And I hope that together we can start to come back to reality and not feelings. Feelings are nothing. Forget feelings. Okay. Nobody wants to hurt somebody else's feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but in that in the whole space of this, if I do hurt your feelings, it is not my intention. It is never my intention to hurt your feelings. It is my intention to get back to a reality-based space in our community. And if we continue to let these people who are not part of this community, I'm gonna tell you that the people who are doing the damage to this community are not real trans people. There's something else. They have infiltrated, they have taken over, they have co-opted what it is. This is a disorder, people. We shouldn't be in this space that we're in for a actual disorder. So that's why you got to see this facts over feelings thing has been taken over by people who I believe are not even really trans people. They're using our space in order to create an identity space. And that is an important part of the equation of why we're in the space we're in. Because if anyone can be trans, the next thing you know, anyone can be Black, anyone can be Asian, anyone can be this, anyone can be that. And you think those communities are going to be okay with that? Hell no. We watched a white woman say she was a Black woman and all hell broke loose. So why is it not happening the same in the trans community? Why are we not calling out these fake ass trans people who are just taking it on as an identity and then making 5 million different genders and making us all look like a bunch of wingnuts? Why are we not confronting those people? Those are the people we need to get out of here and stop actually perpetuating the actual hate towards this community. It's the reason why these laws, because we have fake ass trans people who have perpetuated, who have co-opted, who are pretending to be trans because they need to be validated. So please stand up, speak up, understand that feelings are not facts. And once you see all that, you will see a lot of change that will start to happen in this community. Sending you all a lot of love. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on here. It rained like mad in LA. So I think everybody went crazy. That's how people drive here. When it rains, it's like, it's raining. I'm like, it's rain, dude. Chill out. Stop pumping your brakes. It's not snow. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Thank you all for always joining me. I totally appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. And I have a new awesome video coming up in the next couple of days. So thanks again for supporting and seeing what I want to do here and creating a community of all people, not just trans people. Have a beautiful day, my friends.